What's up guys, my name is Ace, and today we're going to be taking a deep look at the new Grim Reaper Scorestreak in Black Ops 6. Or I guess returning, this isn't brand new to Black Ops 6, we also had it in Black Ops 1. And in Black Ops 6, this is unlocked via the Rivals event, and with it, it requires 950 score to earn, and it's the type of streak that's similar to like the hand cannon or the war machine or the death machine, for instance, where any kills you get with the Grim Reaper will contribute toward medals like Bloodthirsties or Merciless, and kills with this will also contribute toward a nuke, unlike with the non-handheld streaks. When it comes to some of the basic stats here, we have a 4 rocket capacity with 8 in reserve, so 12 total rockets that you can fire. You have the ability to free fire or lock on with this, so it's great against streaks, and we're going to be taking a good look at that in just a little bit. And with this, in order to fire it, you have to be aimed down sight first, so therefore there is a sort of pre-fire delay if you're not already aimed in, and this is 500 milliseconds, that's also your aim down sight time. However, of course, if you're already pre-aimed, it will fire instantly. And we can get follow-up shots off quite quickly as well. We have a rate of fire of roughly 60 rounds per minute, which is pretty incredible for a launcher. Now, another thing to mention, just like the other handheld streaks in the game, like the hand cannon or war machine, once you fire a shot with this, if you then die, you lose it. You don't respawn and get to use it again. However, if you call it in, but you don't fire a shot and you get killed, you can pull it out again once you respawn. Now, on top of that, another really interesting effect with this is the amount of smoke that comes out, not only at the location where you fire from, but also the location where the rocket hits. You can see just how crazy this is. It lingers for quite a long time as well, and it is worth noting this isn't like a smoke grenade smoke. So what this means is, first off, this is client-side smoke, and therefore there is a potential for there to be a mismatch in what one person sees through that smoke versus another person. And also, it may not be displaying properly in kill cams or best plays. And then another element with this smoke is aim assist works through this smoke, unlike with a smoke grenade. And therefore, controller players have a distinct advantage when this smoke is present. As a result, this is one element that I'm personally not a fan of with the Grim Reaper, especially with how long it lingers for. I think it has too much potential for mismatched, unbalanced situations, and also it's just kind of annoying having that much smoke linger for as long as it does. I do understand on one hand they want to make sure it's distinct from the other launchers, and it looks big and powerful when somebody fires it. So I'm not even necessarily against the amount of smoke that appears when you initially fire it. My bigger issue is how long it lingers for. If that were to dissipate a lot more quickly than it currently does, I think it would be in a much better place. In either case, let's have a look at our explosive radius and kill radius versus infantry. And as far as I can tell with my hand testing, we get a maximum hit range of 7 meters. And it also turns out that maximum hit range is also our one-hit kill range, meaning if the enemy is within the hit radius, you will kill them unless they recently spawned. There is spawn protection against streak damage, and to my knowledge, that also applies to the Grim Reaper. So if you're on a really small map like Nuketown, for instance, and you're firing this into spawn, you might get hit markers against real players, but outside of situations where they just recently spawned, you should never see a hit marker against a player, including if they use Flak Jacket. Since this is a score streak, Flak Jacket does literally nothing to protect you from this whatsoever. You won't even get a Flak Jacket hit marker with this because Flak Jacket doesn't protect against score streak explosives. And that covers it for all of the important stats outside of how this performs against enemy score streaks. And this is one of the areas where the Grim Reaper really shines. It turns out this is actually the best method of taking out most of the aerial streaks in this game, assuming you've earned it, which is obviously a big caveat, because if enemies are calling in very high-end streaks, it's probably pretty unlikely in that same scenario you're going to be consistently earning a 950 score streak against those players that are obviously doing really well against you and your team. Regardless, let's have a look at how many shots it takes to take out various streaks. I started with a sentry gun, and this takes just 2 rockets. Then with the Watchdog Helo, it takes 3 rockets to take it out, and remember, we can fire those 3 rockets very quickly with 60 rounds per minute, so that's way faster than using a regular launcher where you have to like reload between every single shot you fire. After that, against the AGR, it also takes 3 rockets. With the Harp, it only takes 4 rockets to take it out, and I know in this clip I fired more than 4 rockets, but with one of them I fired slightly before I locked on, so it was just a straight up miss. And then another one I fired, the Harp was actually destroyed before the rocket reached its target. So it only took 4 shots to take out a Harp. Same thing with the Chopper Gunner. It only takes 4 of those rockets to take it out. And then finally, with the Dreadnought, the highest streak in the game, it takes 5 rockets to take out a Dreadnought. Now again, just like with the Harp, it does fly really high up in the sky, and as a result, it takes quite a long time for each rocket to get to the target, but it only takes 5 hits on target to take out a Dreadnought with this. And there we go, that's pretty much it. That is going to wrap it up for all of the important stats of the Grim Reaper streak in Black Ops 6. Overall, it is quite a powerful streak, but it's also pretty difficult to use against infantry on a consistent basis, compared to something like the hand cannon, where you can really go on a killing spree with that against enemy infantry. With the Grim Reaper, while there's a lot of potential there, especially against groups of enemies, the big problem with using this against infantry is the fact that it can kill you just as easily as it kills enemy players. And therefore, if you've got the Grim Reaper out and then somebody suddenly pushes you and they get within close quarters to you, it now becomes very difficult to kill them without killing yourself. And then there's also the pre-fire delay you have to factor in, where you have to aim down sight first, and that's 500 milliseconds, whereas every gun in this game is going to be killing you noticeably faster than 500 milliseconds in close quarters. Additionally, against streaks, while it is incredible at taking out streaks, like I said earlier, if the enemy team is at the point where they're calling in high streaks against you, it's probably going to be pretty unlikely that you also earn the Grim Reaper at the same time. It's not that it'll never happen, it's just not something that's going to be very consistent, and that also limits its effectiveness quite a bit. So, is it a bad streak? No, I wouldn't say so. It's definitely got potential, it's definitely got some really good use cases, and there's a whole lot of power to it, but you've got to treat it right, you've got to keep your distance, and the opportunities for shooting down at least higher end enemy streaks are likely going to be fairly limited as well, even though it's incredible at taking those streaks out. Additionally, one big element that's likely going to prevent me from using the Grim Reaper much going forward is just the amount of smoke that appears and lingers on the screen. I just find that to be really annoying for myself as well as my teammates, honestly the enemies as well. Just everybody in the match can get annoyed with that, and it just seems so unnecessary, especially with how long it lingers. And when I put this side by side with something like a hand cannon, which is even better at taking out infantry overall, in my experience, unless there's like a big group of them all in one location, then of course in that case the Grim Reaper is going to be your better bet. But the hand cannon is just a bit more consistent, it's easier to use in my eyes, there's no pre-fire delay or anything to worry about, and you never have to worry about accidentally killing yourself with it. The hand cannon's also pretty good against aerial streaks, and it takes slightly less score overall to earn one, and there's no annoying smoke that appears. That just makes that the clear choice, in my opinion, over something like the Grim Reaper. But again, I don't want to say this streak is useless. There's clearly a lot of power potential there, but it's just not for me. Now, of course, these are just my opinions, and I'd love to hear what you guys think about the Grim Reaper in those comments down below. First off, do you guys think this is a good streak that's going to be worth using? Are you going to be using it yourself? And second, how do you feel about the amount and duration of that lingering smoke when firing the Grim Reaper? Are you somebody that likes this because it really shows how much power the Grim Reaper has? Or are you like me, do you feel like this should be toned back a bit? Just let me know down below. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.